Hey, good evening everybody. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make a fast dinner omelet. Okay, now omelets have two components. They've got beaten eggs with a bit of milk or cream. I've got cream tonight. And some kind of filling. I'm using some chopped vegetables that I'm going to saute rapidly with a bit of cheese. Now, the number of people it serves depends on how many eggs and how much filling you use, Now this dinner omelet, I'm going to use 6 eggs. You could serve 2 people with it. That's my story and I'm sticking with it, And that always reminds me, I see these little boxes that says serves 4, right? Like 4 what? But that's another story. Let's just keep going here. So the first thing to do is get your fillings going. Now the person that asked for this wanted something that could be done in about 10 minutes. I think that's a little unrealistic for any dish, but we'll go as quick as we can here. Now the mushrooms are going to take the longest, so get those going first. And if you've got 2 frying pans, great. Because that way what you could do is you could start the mushrooms in one and you could start slowly cooking the eggs in another, but I'm just going to stick to one pan tonight. And isn't it amazing how much mushrooms 2 big mushrooms make? You really don't need that much. I've got my non-stick over medium heat with a bit of butter in it, about a tablespoon, and I'll just add a little bit of oil to it to make sure that the butter doesn't burn. And since I'm on a speed mission, I'm going to just throw the mushrooms in like that before it even melts. Not to worry. I like green onions, so I'm going to use 2. Just cut the ends with the roots on them off. And then just chop these up quickly. You can do them small or large. I do recommend a smaller chop on this because it's an omelet. And just add that to the frying pan. Now, a whole red pepper is going to be way too much for this. So what I'm going to do is just snap the top off so I can slice it. And just chop it right down the middle, like that. And if you've never cleaned one of these before, what you do is just grab it with your thumb. Alright, now I should be doing this over the sink, but I'll clean up the seeds after. And then after, pick out anything along the spines and then just either rinse it or just tap the seeds out with your fingers. Okay, so these are both cleaned. I'm just going to use 1/4 of a pepper for this. It's more than enough. I just put that in a Ziploc in the fridge. Fastest way to do this is just cut it lengthwise in strips. And then just take them and dice them. And throw those in the pan. Now at this point, after you stir it up a bit, you can add a little salt and pepper. The salt makes the water come out of vegetables quicker. Now you can leave those sizzling away and start getting your eggs ready. So just crack all your eggs into a bowl. If you've got any broken eggshells in there, do get a spoon and dig those out before you continue because you don't want to be chewing on those. Now, how much milk or cream depends on you. The general answer is just a splash. Because a fork is useful to break the egg yolks, which is what you want to do before you start whisking this or stirring it. If you are going to use a fork like this, what you should do is get one that's got long tines on it. It works better than short ones. And just whip that up in a circular motion like that. So it's nice and even. And then go check on your vegetables. Look at that. Vegetables are cooked or cooked just enough. And what I'll do is just get a small bowl get those off to the side. Even though it's non-stick, what I do like to do at this point is get a couple of pieces of paper towel and just wipe it out. And you don't want them wet or anything, you just do it dry. What this does is picks up excess grease and any vegetable bits so they don't burn at the bottom of the omelet. And yeah, you're going to be putting a bit more butter in there, but not too much. So start up your pan again on medium. Now here I put about half of what I did before, but I still put a bit of oil so it doesn't burn. You do want it brown on the outside. So swirl that around, and if you've done it right, you should have just enough oil to cover the entire surface of the pan. And if you've got a bit more, your omelet will be a little greasy, but it's better than not having enough. So stir up your eggs one last time and just pour that in. And you're going to have to watch it for a bit, so this is, I find, a good time to get my cheese ready to go. Now I got pre-grated tonight. You can grate your own, that's fine. This is just tastes as good and it's just a lot quicker. After it's been cooking for a few minutes, I'll zoom in so you can see what I mean. You'll notice on the outer edges you can see the eggs start to cook. This is where you want to just rock it gently with the handle to see how much uncooked egg you have, and the sloshier it is, the longer you have to cook it. It's been another few minutes. Now it's getting less sloshy and you can start to see the mark change in color. This is quite pale and the uncooked egg is much darker. Plus, it started to develop a bubble, sort of like a pie crust, and what you can do is just pop that with your spatula, and you saw the air come out there, and the uncooked egg will go underneath and it'll cook a lot more evenly that way. If you are going to do this, keep a towel handy to wipe off your spatula. And you do want a clean spatula, because I'm not doing one of those wild man omelets where you don't pick up the pan and flip it in the air and watch your dinner land on the floor. I like the slow, easy approach that turns out every time. Now at this point, you've hardly got any movement at all. So when you're at this point all around, see that there? That's still shiny, but it's not goopy. Okay? So at this point where it's hardly sliding at all, and oh look, that is sliding on the bottom. You're safe to put your filling in now. And so what you want to do is you want to sprinkle it over half of the omelet. Not all of it, because you're going to be picking up one side and turning it over onto the other. And see, even just that little bit of vegetables is quite a bit of filling. When it's not moving at all is when you put the cheese on. And this is to taste, of course, but you don't want to put in so much that it just oozes everywhere out of the omelet. That looks good. Well, you got a sneak preview at the side of the pan because a piece landed down on the side. And what you want is you want your cheese to start melting before you flip it. So that's sliding around quite nicely, and you can see that the cheese is nearly all melted. So get your spatula under the side with no filling on it. And if you got a bigger spatula, by all means go for it. Pick it up and try to flip it one side in one easy motion. If it does break, don't worry about it. It's still edible. There you go. see, that's a lovely color, and it's not burnt. There's one edge is a little uneven, no problem. I'm just trying to put this out on a plate now. This is actually the hardest part, is getting it out onto the plate. There you have it. There's my dinner omelette for two. And once you cut it, you can just transfer it to another serving plate with side dishes or whatever you want. And it's that easy. So I do hope you give it a shot. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.